What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to be talking about how the LA Clippers beat the Golden State Warriors 135 to 131. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverley, Max, had as many shot attempts as each other. Patrick Beverley shot the ball 8 times, made 3 shots. Kevin Durant shot the ball 8 times, had 5 shots. Kevin Durant fouled out. Patrick Beverley drew him into back-to-back offensive fouls in a span of 47 seconds. Max, I apologize to you, sir. I ain't want to have no discussions about Kevin Durant being the best player in the game. I ain't want to have it. I apologize.
Well, Stephen A., it's a little bit too early to be talking about Kevin Durant's not the best player in the league, because I do believe he is. He just not applying himself. And he can just as easily drop 40 or 45 in Game 3. So, like I said, let's stay away from talking about how good or bad Kevin Durant is. And what this also points to is it's not the size of the dog, it's the fight in the dog. And Patrick Beverley obviously has more fight in his heart than Kevin Durant does. And it's showing, because there's no reason why Kevin Durant should be getting pushed around like a little girl by Patrick Beverley, who's a whole foot shorter than he is. So let's keep going.
Max, okay? Because here's the problem. I think that Kevin Durant's skill is all world. I think this dude is a scoring machine, has the potential to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But Patrick Beverley would not have been able to do that to LeBron James, because LeBron James is 260 pounds. The fact that Kevin Durant is skinny is really showing himself, because Patrick Beverley looks stronger. Although he's shorter, he looks stronger.
Well, Patrick Beverley probably is stronger than Kevin Durant. And let's not act like Kevin Durant just popped up in Game 2 skinny. Kevin Durant's been skinny all year. As a matter of fact, Kevin Durant's been skinny since day one. Since he's been in the league. So let's not act like Kevin Durant just popped out of nowhere being skinny. All right. The fact is, Patrick Beverley has more fight in his heart than Kevin Durant does, and Kevin Durant needs to do some soul searching to figure out why you're getting beat up by Patrick Beverley, a guy that's a foot shorter than you. What they should be doing is throwing the ball up to Kevin Durant high up in the air to where Patrick Beverley can't get it, and Kevin Durant should be shooting over Patrick Beverley like it's nothing. So let's keep going.
And it's causing them problems. The Warriors missed 19 of the last 27 shots. 14 turnovers in that span, clearly careless with the basketball, completely eradicating that explosion in the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds of the first half when Steph Curry scored 11 points on 4 for 4 shooting, 3 of 3 from three-point range, literally looking at himself. He said, "I'm a bad boy." That's what they called him saying. "I'm a bad boy." And all of a sudden that gets eradicated. I understand if they stop playing defense. I know they've got to amp that up. I believe they will. There's no question about that. Steph Curry and these boys and the troubles that they had offensively are fine. Defensively, you ain't giving up 85 points in the second half, the second most in an NBA playoff game history, by the way.
So I definitely don't see the Golden State Warriors giving it up like that again, or losing a 30-point lead, or have to come back with 30 points. But I think it's just the perfect storm of everything happening. Kevin Durant getting beat up by a little girl, getting beat up like he's a little girl by Patrick Beverley. Curry not necessarily being as sharp as he should be, and Boogie getting hurt. I think it's the perfect storm of everything going wrong. I can't see them dropping a 30-point lead again like the way they've done. They're just too good for that. Just too good. So I don't know. Let's keep going.
85 points in the second half. But in the end, all of that pales in comparison to the concern that should be about Kevin Durant. I have no doubt that he'll make up for it because he's Kevin Durant. But there is no excuse for him to be defended by a dude about 9 to 10 inches shorter than him, who's no all-star, even though, again, he's a Hall of Fame best. That is Patrick Beverley. For this to be happening to Kevin Durant, particularly as he approaches free agency, it's just not a good look.
It's not a good look at all. And like I said, what it is the fight in the dog. Patrick Beverley has way more fight in his heart than Kevin Durant is. And as far as it having it be his contract year, you think someone's not going to give Kevin Durant his money? He may be getting pushed around by Patrick Beverley at this point, but I don't think that's going to continue to happen. And Kevin Durant's going to get his money. They're not going to say it in negotiations with Kevin Durant, well, you got pushed around by, Patrick Beverley, so we're going to give you a little bit less. Yeah, right. Kevin Durant's going to get that bag, and he's still a top 2 or 3 player in the league right now. He's just having a slump right now and getting beat up by Patrick Beverley. And we'll get into that a little bit later on why Kevin Durant should be the best player ever, but he's not going to be. So we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. So let's keep going.
I understand the criticism of KD, and KD's got to be sitting there like, yo, what do I have to do? Because everyone feels like there's something missing. KD should be the best player who ever lived, really. When you think about his height, the fact he can shoot from range, put it on the floor, sees the floor well, willing passer, can finish at the rim, can shoot free throws, can defend like 5 positions, switch on, like always makes the right basketball play. You think, well, he should be the best player ever. And he
Yes, he should, Max. He should definitely be the best player for all the reasons that you just threw down. But like I said in other videos, it is not in Kevin Durant's personality or mentality to be able to go in there and slit the throat. It's just not in his personality to go hard like that. You just imagine if Kevin Durant had the same mentality as Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Just imagine that, because those two are deadly assassins. Those guys will cut your head off and have no problem going to sleep at night. No problem. Kevin Durant doesn't have that. Kevin Durant should go down as the best player ever. He should smash Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time point scoring record. But I don't think he's going to do it for the simple fact that it's not in his mentality. It's not in him to be a crazy, sick assassin like that. If he had that, just imagine a 7-footer that can shoot from anywhere. He has defense. He can do whatever he wants. It's just not in his personality to be that type of player. That's exactly why he won't have his own team. He can't run his own team because he's not that alpha male, take charge type of player. If he was, he would be the best player ever by none, but he doesn't have the mentality that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant have. So let's keep going.
It's not. He's only one of the best players ever. And no one really, he's not a top 5 guy or something like that, though his talent says he should be. So I get what you're saying. But what concerns me most is Steph Curry. And I'll tell you why. I will never forget Game 7, Finals. 73-win Warriors team against LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers. The last 4 minutes and 22 seconds of that game, the Golden State Warriors scored not a single point. The greatest offense of all time on the best team ever didn't score a single point. And I was on TV and radio back then saying, hey, this is Steph Curry's world. It's not fair. In any other era, it wouldn't be the case, given his height and his size. But the way the game is played now, move over LeBron James. That dude is the best player in the world. He should be the star of Space Jam 2, right? Like, it's Steph Curry's world. And LeBron let everyone know, and that's just, it's still my world. Steph.
So I don't understand why Max keeps bringing that up. The last time Golden State lost in the finals. So what was that, 2016? Okay, so LeBron James did assert himself. Whatever. That was years ago. What happened that next year, from what Max was talking about? That next year they met Cleveland in the finals. They beat them 4-1. And then what happened that next year, which would have been last year? They beat them 4-0. They swept them. So they've gotten better. They've gotten better, Max. So why do you keep bringing up what happened 3 years ago? And Golden State's only beat them even worse each year. Steph Curry's beat them even worse each year. They're the 2-time defending champions. And Kevin Durant's a 2-time MVP of those 2-time championship teams. So I don't know why you guys are all of a sudden trying to hop off this bandwagon or whatever at this point. Trashing these guys. It just doesn't make sense. There's no basis for what you're saying, Max, of what happened 3 years ago. And in the past 2 years, they beat Cleveland and they've beat them even worse each year. So I don't know why you keep bringing up 2016, Max. So let's keep going.
The moment I'm going to talk about, Stephen A., is the behind-the-back
pass that was a turnover.
That turned it over to
loose with the basketball.
Clay. That's the point about Steph.
14 turnovers.
He's nonchalant at times, and he's like Cool Hand Luke because of that, because he shoots it so well. He plays with such...
Max, if Steph Curry being nonchalant, but can win back-to-back championships last year and the year before, and then won 2 years before that. If that's his nonchalantness, I'll take that all day, every day. And also, for an assassin like that, I want him to be Cool Hand Luke all the time and not get rattled when he starts missing a few shots. Okay, that's what I'll take. And what happened to Steph Curry breaking the all-time three-point record that Ray Allen had in Game 1? What happened to that? All of a sudden now he's nonchalant and he can't shoot and all this other type of garbage. But 2 games ago, he was breaking records, the 3-point records of that Ray Allen set. But all of a sudden now he's nonchalant and yada, yada, yada. You have no basis for what you're saying, Max. No basis. So let's keep going.
Ease. He's such a great player. It's unbelievable. But there's nonchalance in the moment of truth. And Stephen A., his fourth foul is what turned that game around in the third quarter. And I know Kevin Durant turned the ball over 9 times, which is incredible. He's like a team's worth of turnovers in one guy.
Yeah, more turnovers than shot attempts.
But I'm telling you right now, the issue for me with the Warriors, what would be their undoing in these plays, is if Steph Curry gets nonchalant. I want to say a word about Patrick Beverley.
Sure.
This is Paul Hembekides, the researcher from Get Up. Patrick Beverley, when he defended Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant. Think about that. The 4 biggest names on the Warriors, right? Last night, they were a combined total of 2 for 7 from the field, shooting from an average distance of 20 feet, with 1 assist and 5 turnovers. It's not just KD he was all over. It was everyone. You see why people in Philadelphia are like, how do...
Exactly, Max. It was everybody screwing up. It was a perfect storm of them playing like trash. Okay, it was a perfect storm. Do you think that's really going to happen again? Because I don't. Do you think that they're really going to be able to let a team come back by 30 points and smash them? You think Boogie's going to get hurt again? When he's probably out, but Bogout's probably going to come and step in. And I think Kevin, one of their centers for Golden State, I think he got like 19 points coming off the bench. So he did a pretty good job. I think he went 6 for 6. As a matter of fact, their center, Kevin, I forgot his name for the Golden State Warriors, but he did a good job. But do you think that... Curry's going to have the type of game he had? Do you think Kevin Durant's going to have the type of game he's had? Because I don't see it. Draymond Green had a quiet, 13, 14? I can't remember. But it's just a perfect storm of everybody playing bad, and I can't see that happening again. And I can't see the Clippers playing the way they did. Like I said, it's the perfect storm of Golden State playing like garbage. So I don't think it's going to happen again. I hope not. I would drill them if I was Steve Kerr. I would definitely jump on them and don't let the ball let the ball start rolling of playing like trash. But anyway, let's keep going.
We not get Patrick Beverley in that deal. This dude, you said you have on any team ever, that's the guy you want on your team. Unbelievable defense from Patrick Beverley. You mentioned the fact that KD shouldn't be bothered by him because of the size, whatever. Mm-hmm. The only reason I think is because the offensive player has the advantage over the defensive player, but Patrick Beverley can do that to anyone.
Well, I'm going to say something that you will absolutely positively not disagree with. And that is this to the Philadelphia fans everywhere. You didn't get Patrick Beverley because Jerry West is in L.A. and he knew not to give up Patrick Beverley. Very, very, very simple, by the way, because Tobias Harris can ball. He was their leading scorer, and obviously you're giving up enough by giving up him. That was the mentality. Mm-hmm. But Jerry West wasn't going to let Lawrence Frank and those boys give up Patrick Beverley. That's number one. Number two, I don't look at Steph Curry that way. I look at Steph Curry and them collectively. And I look at last night's blown lead, and I'm not worried. It has me feeling actually more confident about Golden State.
Actually, Stephen, I'm not worried about that either, because just the fact that they were up by 30 points or in that general area means that they can do it, they have it. It's just something went wrong, and what went wrong was the perfect storm of Boogie getting hurt, Curry having his issues, Kevin Durant having his issues. I don't think that's going to happen again. If I was Kerr, I would be mad. I would jump on him like, look, don't let this start rolling, the ball start rolling of us losing. And also, what I would do for Kevin Durant if I was Steve Kerr is I would get the smallest dude, and for the whole practice, have him beat up Kevin Durant. Have him beat up Kevin Durant. And guess what, Kevin Durant? You're going to stay after practice for an extra 45 minutes and continue to get beat up by this little guy. And then we're going to have to talk about your heart, because there's no reason why you should be getting beat up by Patrick Beverley when you're a foot taller than he is. We'll definitely have to talk about your heart. So that's what I would do if I was Steve Kerr. But I'm not Steve Kerr. So let's keep going.
A 31-point lead, that's a wake-up call, okay? And it clearly, when you talk about being loosey-goosey with the ball and being careless, which is something Mike Wilbon has religiously got on the Golden State Warriors about, he speaks to their arrogance, which has cost them playoff games in the past 4 years. Their arrogance, because they know they're so superior to practically everybody that they're not concerned about it. But that don't have anything to do with Kevin Durant. Arrogance is not what did this to Kevin Durant. Arrogance may have done that to Steph Curry. Arrogance may have done that to Klay Thompson. A little arrogance might have done it to Draymond Green and others, okay? Injury did that to DeMarcus Cousins, wishing him nothing but the best, even though he ain't the nicest guy in the world. Damn, he doesn't deserve that.
Yes, I like to throw that in there too. Boogie, I'm sorry that you got hurt. I hope you get better. No one deserves to get hurt like that. You know, I just don't want you to I don't want anybody to get hurt. Anyways, let's keep going.
she was healthy. But the bottom line is this. When it comes to KD, that wasn't arrogance. That was Patrick Beverley. And when